Hello. My name is Lamin Fofana. This is
Nicolas Premier.
yeah, and there's a third person that's not here right now, but they are here also. Not here, but here. Jim C. Ned, who's out in Milan, northern Italy, on lockdown. And this is our show, Blues, which opened here at Mishkin Gallery, Baruch College yesterday. And I can take you through the different rooms, so we can
Lead the way.
check it out.
We shall follow.
Yes. Begins here. This is the exhibition. The show is under. It's on 3 different soundworks, connected, but they are very connected. And this is the first room, and it has a video titled "Black Metamorphosis," which is also the title of an album that I released last year. And the video, a collaboration that started organically, was conceptualized and created by Nicolas Premier as his response to one of the tracks that I guess
Talk to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That spoke to you.
Yeah, spoke to me, and but we are just in front of the
Yes.
the work of Jim.
Yes.
So maybe introduce the cover. Or, yeah.
This image is by Jim C. Ned. He's also responding to the track Black Metamorphosis, and of course Black Metamorphosis is the title of Sylvia Wynter's 900-page unpublished manuscript that was written in the 1970s, and which is it's a massive inspiration for my work, our collaboration. Yes. Just trying to give you as much as I can, and you can cut out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No light.
Oh no, it's gonna get, yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, this is the first video work, Black Metamorphosis, that we basically we collided on.
Yeah.
From last year. You can talk some more about it if you.
Yeah. So this is the first. There is 2 videos I made for our collaboration, and this is the first one. And it was really. I've had 2 inspirations to do this. One was the title itself of the book and the album, Black Metamorphosis, which tells a lot in terms of myth and imaginary. And the second main inspiration was the fact that Sylvia Wynter, the author, was also had been a dancer, and especially not samba dancer, but the carnival.
Yeah, carnival. I mean, like the Rio Carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an inspiration. But I think my thing is just like when it comes to say African culture or Black culture outside of Africa, like Brazil, and of course like the history of Carnival, which is like European, like African culture, European, African and European influences basically colliding in this particular place that created this here, and the video is made with found footage and original footage that was shot, and yeah. Yes, yes.
Shall we continue? Okay.
We should continue. Should I take this off?
If you want.
You are hot a bit.
It's getting warm in here. And it's really like being in rooms without the sound. And this is the second room, which is around the album, the final album in the trilogy of Soundworks titled Blues. And this is supposed to be. It's supposed to give you a space of, a space of calm, but also a calm reflection. But no, you're not supposed to completely tune out in a way. It makes sense with the sound on, but and it's also a room where we are showcasing Jim C. Ned's photography quite a bit. Photographs that he took in the city where he's from in northern Colombia, Valempua, and it's yeah. I wish Jim was here to tell you more about these pictures, because they're all basically like portals into like people in his life, and people with interesting stories. But yeah, and this is.
And there is also like Arma.
Yeah, this is also a multi-sensory room with sound and light and some incense, some nag champa and frankincense.
But yeah, it's a bit strange to do a tour without the sound, your music, because it's really part of the show, and it feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think once I know when Nick puts it all together.
You can add the music.
Yeah.
Sure.
You could say something maybe about the publications and how the publications influence.
Right. Yes. Yes. All of these works are influenced or inspired by ideas from scholars and philosophers, in Black studies, in Black studies, and from Sylvia Wynter to James Baldwin, to science fiction and fantasy writers. People basically imagining or straight up just critiquing what we currently have, what the situation where we are at this present time, and how to start imagining like new relationships between people and relationship to the environment. But yeah, this is the table where all of these works have I found like deeply like inspiring and illuminating, and it's basically like the purpose driver, like they help. It's like a purpose. like some of them are just like, yes, the sources for like the like how you're trying to transmute ideas or something you find very interesting into sound, like feelings, like a thought that something you're feeling, but somebody eloquently
Articulate.
articulate, and then yeah. So the text is a very significant part of the work. They are also our collaborators in a way, like all of these writers in all of the various fields of Black studies, from people, painters, photographers who are looking at the Great Migration, to speculative like fiction writers, and to giant like scholar philosophers like Sylvia Wynter, who is a novelist, poet, critic. Yeah.
Great.
But this is a room with no sound. And this is the third room. And this room is around. The first room is on Sylvia Wynter's Black Metamorphosis. The second room is mainly around Amari Baraka's Blues People, and the third room is the founding or the grounding text is W.E.B. Du Bois' Dark Water, Voices from Behind the Veil, and but the work itself, the text is filtered through other writers, like how Du Bois, who wrote this text in 1920, basically critiquing capitalism and white supremacy, and how some of those ideas have traveled down, to writers in the 50s and 60s, all the way through the present. Like, yeah. So, but this piece here is titled. I ran from it, and I was still in it. And it's yeah, and it's another video work by Nicolas here, who can speak about it.
Yeah, you want to add some stuff on the title itself?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Could you guys step a little closer? Sorry, yeah, as you continue on. Yeah. Just a little closer to the screen so I can see both.
Okay.
Something about the title, I would say, is it's actually it comes from a poem by Fred Moten, a poet philosopher who's currently teaching at NYU and has many books. In fact, one of the key figures, like in our whose work is our work is standing on top of. Basically, like we are standing on the shoulders of not just those writers, but writers like Fred Moten and Saidia Hartman, and Fred Moten. Fred Moten's The Field Trio, which is the title of the book that has this poem. And also, I mean, I wish you can say something about the location.
Sure. So yeah,
And your response to me bringing this to you.
yeah. So yeah, this video was shot in a park in France, in Paris, and a little bit outside of Paris. It is a park that has been created for a colonial exhibition in 1907, and in the video we see again and again a sculpture which is part of a monument named for the victory of the French expansion. Yeah, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's to celebrate the colonial empire. And so this, the one you just see on the screen. So in this monument, there were five main sculpture. One was supposed to represent the African woman, the other the Asian woman, one the Caribbean woman, another one the French Republic or the French Empire, and
What represents the French Empire?
the
The rooster?
The rooster
The cock?
on the globe. And so when I shot this video, I knew a bit about this story, but I did some research, and then I discovered that the sculpture representing the African woman has been beheaded. So it was like for Black Metamorphosis, the first big inspiration are the music, Lamin's music, and also the title he chose. And then I found this place, and I felt that it was the right place to build my work. And so my work is in some way a response to the fact that this monument has been vandalized like almost 100 years after being created. And I think it tells that this story is not ended, and it continues through nowadays. And so there is also a interrogation on and reflection. I play with some reflection to the water, and it's also like something linked to the title.
Yeah, I would add that where our work, like this is a park that was commenced in 1907, but Du Bois's Dark Water was written in 1920, but he was also he was writing about like European he was writing about colonialism about this time because he described white supremacy as the ownership of the earth, like this idea of like the French creating a park, representing the French Polynesia, French Africa, like that's literally what what Du Bois was writing about, and basically makes the point that the First World War was, a colonial war, and it's and they are like living in Europe, in Berlin or in Paris or in London. They are like constantly like these zones or these places that are that basically they have like a ghostly presence of like something happened here, like a ritual or so, like something happened here that it's not fully it's not acknowledged. It's just in the air, and I think the one of the feeling this particular track and the video also is dealing with is that, you know, the idea of like colonialism, post-colonialism, slavery, post-slavery is like no, it's like, yes, slavery was abolished, nations became independent, but it's kind of like there's like a long line, there's like slavery and colonialism yes, it's quote unquote no longer, but it's not yet. Like it's not yet like slavery has ended, but people are still dealing with like, I don't know, like substandard education, health, and lifespan. It still affects black lives in Europe and in America, and also in Africa. There's like there's and you deal with that in like I mean, back home in Freetown or in all over Africa, like the consequence of like it's, you know, it's even more like in your face, like, because, you know, it's where like the basically it's where the dirty work happened, like where like you know, where there's like, you can see the inscription in the environment, in the landscape, but you can also see it in the people. But in Europe, where, you know, the wealth was extracted, and then like there's just like this, you know, there's a tension because it hasn't, you know, there's a tension that hasn't been resolved, or I don't think there's any. No. There's no point in resolving it. Like, well, there is no way to resolve it, I should say, and it's kind of that, I don't know what's the word, like irresolution, like that place is kind of where this track is. That feeling, that mood when you come to that, when you realize like these things that give us the world we have at the moment, the world of I don't know, this collision of capitalism, white supremacy, and colonialism or settler colonialism, that give us this earth that we have at the moment with like environmental degradation, you know. Like there's no the only way to like you know, is to basically like, you know, like you have to like accelerate like the end of the world, like break the world before we can like actually like move on and start to see things differently. Like all those things have to like basically you know, they you know, yeah, you have to like figure out a way to burn it down. Burn it down, yeah. So I guess that will conclude our
Good ending.
that will conclude
our tour
here.
What do you think?
If there's
Good
any
stuff, yeah.
thing,
And one of you attended Baruch, correct?
Baruch for like half a semester,
Mm-hmm.
yes, and then at Hunter College, that's me.
Could you just very briefly, like really quick on a sentence or two, just describe like your backgrounds, just like that, just so we have it, your name and your background?
Yes, okay. Where should we?
Next, let's do it out here in the front. Sure.
Yes, my name is Lamin Fofana. Hunter College graduate, media studies and sociology. You know, Du Bois was a sociologist, so somehow things I read in college are in here. But yes, so my name is Lamin Fofana, and I'm an artist and musician currently based in Berlin. I'm getting an itchy foot. I might be somewhere else very soon. Yeah, that's
great, yeah.
My name is Nicolas Premier, artist, photograph, and video artist. And also I'm the co-founder of Africa is the Future, which is a multidisciplinary project. And yeah, I think that's it.